Hello everyone, my name is Eduardo. I am an evangelical pastor and a veteran of 22 years of military service. I'm also a former Republican who has woken up to the realities of today's Republican Party. On that note, I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered, like I have, how Trumpism ever came about? How is it possible that something so vile and destructive and divisive has become so popular among so many fellow Americans, even now in the 21st century? It's not like history hasn't taught us anything about it in the past. Well, after countless conversations and discussions with many Trump supporters I know from my veteran and Christian communities, this is the conclusion that I have personally reached and I would like to share with you today. Sadly, I have learned that Trumpism isn't anything new. In fact, Trumpism has always been a pre-existing condition of our nation. Trump just happened to be the vile and shameless individual Trumpism needed all along for it to be re-unleashed for the rest of us to see how well and alive it still is today. So what Trumpism really is? A short definition will be this: an intense desire to get back at those other people. I was once told very casually by a Trump supporter that I know this: I love the fact that Trump gets away with everything. Ha ha ha. Another individual told me how he couldn't wait for Trump to win again so he could celebrate seeing liberals crying all over again. Getting even. That's precisely what Trumpism is all about. Everything else is smoke and mirrors. Personal grievances toward certain views, disdain toward certain people, and vengeance toward all of it is in fact at the core of Trumpism. The well-being of our nation has little to do with it. To Trumpism, getting even with the other people who don't look like us, or think like us, or sound like us, or believe like us, is all that matters. According to Trumpism, those other people have gained too much ground and they must be stopped at any cost. Getting even is what this whole thing has been from the day that Trump came down the escalator in 2015 in his tower and began his vicious attack on those other people whom, by the way, Trumpism was already seeking to avenge. On that day, Trump became its champion. Trump provided a safe path for Trumpism to fully come out the closet, even at the potential expense of its own interests, health concerns, relationships, and potentially the loss of our democracy to Trump's willful ignorance. Remember Trumpism emphasis of no more political correctness? Well, what Trumpism was really saying then, as it still does today, is this: I want out of the closet. I'm tired of hiding my true feelings about you. It's time for payback, and Trump is our man to lead us on that front. That is precisely why we see Trump getting away with everything. From the time that he survived, the entire world seeing him on video, publicly bragging about his casual assault on women, to his current 20,000 lives so far and counting, to his inhumane cruelty towards immigrant children, to his blunt disregard for the Constitution and his rule of law, to now his incendiary responses to all the racial strife, to the 180,000 COVID-19 deaths and millions of people out of work on his own dysfunctional watch. That is unexplainable unless you understand what Trumpism is all about. Trumpism knows that each time Trump gets away with this thing, it really frustrates those avocado-eating, latte-drinking, godless elite leftists. And on that note, Trumpism rejoices. The more outraged those evil elite liberals get about Trump's outrageous doing without being held into an account, the more satisfaction Trumpism finds in him. In Trump, the perfect means to an end was found, and getting even is the ultimate end. And regardless of the consequences it might bring to the rest of us in pursuit of that end. So given that reflection, I have a couple questions that I'd like to ask before I close. Do we, the people, who's supposed to be guardians of our democracy, really want another 4 years of Trumpism, vindictive, vengeful rant? Is that what we want to be known as a nation, as vengeful, hateful people who seek to harm our own neighbors? Because if we do, whatever the consequences of Trump's re-election may be, is on us as much as it is on Trumpism. At the end, nothing good can ever come out of such a destructive spirit. Do we want the condition of our nation to get worse by the continual feeding to its pre-existing condition, or do we want to have a much healthier and united nation we could all be proud of? The choice couldn't be any more clear this upcoming election. Trumpism and his vengeful advancement toward the destruction of our nation, or the choosing of a redemptive, healing America. I personally choose to heal and unite America by electing Joe Biden. How about you? Thank you for your time.